Hey friends, welcome back to part 2 of the Universe Soul Circus. Part 1 is already uploaded. You should be able to find it in my little playlist there. But I'm Xavier, back with another Black Case file for you. I typically talk about cases and topics that tend to focus on people of color, and the topics vary. Sometimes murders, sometimes history, sometimes conspiracy, sometimes a murder mystery, history, conspiracy. Anyways, if you like this content, make sure to hit that lovely red subscribe button. You can also find me on Instagram at the Black Case Files. Lastly, I have a little playlist that I add all these to that should be showing right there. There. Binge it, have fun, enjoy. Let's get into it. As I stated before, there were a lot of issues with circuses in general, and Universe Soul Circus certainly has its share. The Universe Soul Circus was the brainchild of Cedric Walker. A Baltimore, Maryland native, Walker has had a variety of businesses starting from the young age of 6 with a shoe shine business and eventually selling Christmas cards, Kool-Aid popsicles, fruits and vegetables from a cart. Now that's about the time he fell in love with the circus. Growing up, his family often attended the circus when it came to Baltimore, and from his first glimpse, he became enamored with it. The entertainment bug first bit Walker in the early 70s when he moved to Tuskegee, Alabama to live with his uncle, who was a prominent nightclub owner in the region. That's where he met and later teamed up with a promising group of young musicians known as the Commodores. Soon working his way up to production and stage manager, and he toured around the world with them. He later would serve as a promoter for the Jackson 5, moving on to produce rap and music tours and gospel plays. Eventually, though, by the mid-90s, Cedric and his associates began looking for new forms of family entertainment, which led him to the creation of his version of the circus, the Universe Soul Circus. That vision led Walker to create what would prove to be the most successful urban family entertainment event in history. That historic first show took place in 1994 in the parking lot of the old Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta. From the very beginning, the circus received rave reviews from critics and fans. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution dubbed it Cirque du Soleil when it debuted. It was called a masterpiece of production, staging, and promotion. The overwhelming positive initial response inspired Walker to push forward and turn his dream of running away with the circus into reality. And since its debut, Universe Soul Circus has successfully turned the traditional circus world upside down. By '97, it grew to a 10-city tour. You have HBO specials, 25 cities in 2012. And as successful as it's been, there are still a number of issues with alleged animal abuse and escaping animals. During a stop in Philadelphia, 2 zebras escaped from their handler and ran through city streets. They ran amok for about 40 minutes. One sustained wounds on both legs. In 2016, 2 zebras escaped and ran amok through busy roads in Oakland, California, endangering themselves and the public. During a stay in Maryland, a tiger escaped and attacked an elephant. When this occurred, children from several elementary schools were attending the circus, were walking under the tent when the tiger escaped. Just a year earlier, a 450-pound tiger escaped while a cage was being cleaned. The animal ended up leaping into a car and ran through an alley before being captured. There's also alleged animal abuse. For example, Betty the elephant. Animals have been caged, chained, and forced to perform in Universe Soul Circus for about a quarter of a century, and these suffering animals aren't celebrating as the infamous circus marks 25 years. As I said, there was Betty the elephant, who's supplied for the circus by Larry Carden. It's chronically lame, but they continue to use her for rides and performances. You can kind of see she avoids bending her right ankle, and she has a peg leg, showing that she's compromised and probably in pain. Exhibitor Caden was once charged for allegedly inserting a bull hook into Bo's mouth. The case of the alleged animal abuse by Universe Soul Circus during a performance in Atlanta, that will actually go to trial in April. The trainer and marketing director have pleaded not guilty to charges of animal abuse. According to an incident report, witnesses told Atlanta police they saw one of the trainers insert a bull hook into Bo the elephant's mouth during a performance. Historically, a bull hook is a training tool for elephants, and it looks like a sharpened fireplace poker. Inserting it into the elephant's mouth, that may have ran them foul of the city's code. There's also video of several unsuccessful tries to get the elephant to the stage, and that's when they led her with the bull hook, and Caden was later arrested. There's also other issues where there's a misleading animal rights policy statement that was posted on its website, and it dismissed the lawsuit against the circus after the parties reached a settlement. While the terms of this are unknown to different organizations, the organization claims that the circus recently removed the false statements shortly after the court ruled that this case could proceed to trial. In its ruling, the court noted that Universal's circus elephant exhibitor Larry Carden was cited for Atlanta's violation against animal abuse, but they did say that they'd never been cited for animal abuse before. And so basically they're saying he was cited separately from the circus. He's acting by himself, not necessarily in accordance with the circus, which this lawsuit highlighted Universal's false claims about the elephants and tigers bullied and intimidated and performing in its shows. This is actually from PETA, Tracy Raymond. PETA is putting circuses on notice as they can't get away with misleading parents into supporting cruelty to animals. Sloan, who is a mother of someone who went to go see the circus, actually got together with PETA. Other exhibitors who have been caught violating the Federal Animal Welfare Act, or AWA, while touring with Universal Circus include big cat exhibitor Michael Kalmason, who has been cited repeatedly for keeping big cats inside cramped transport cages and not letting them out to stretch their legs. Universal Circus has amassed lots of AWA violations. The circus also caused outrage when they had another lame animal and forced it to continue to give rides to humans. While performing with the Universal Circus, elephant exhibitors George and Luann Barreda were cited for failing to provide 4 African female elephants with adequate veterinary care. And then they were cited again 4 months later for failing to provide the elephants with veterinary care again. And they found the animals were suffering from various foot ailments. Foot problems are leading to a reason that captured elephants are euthanized. In 2014, Universal Circus was cited to keep elephants out of its act, and that hasn't exactly gone well. When Universal performed at Turner Field in Atlanta, inspectors reported that a camel with a 3-inch long laceration, so a cut, and another with a swollen ankle and foot that needed to be treated and drained were used in the show. There was a whistleblower, so someone who worked for Universal Circus, reported 2 employees lost the tips of their fingers to animal bites. And they said, Universal said the tigers nipped their employees. So as you see, there's a number of issues with the circuses. In particular, Universal Circus has been repeatedly cited, and I would be remiss if I didn't at least mention some of these. New York City officials once refused to grant Universal Circus a permit to use elephants and tigers for a performance on the grounds that the tigers were kept inside cages with inadequate space and that the elephants' tuberculosis test records were outdated. As of today, Universal Circus is not presently using elephants and tigers, and it's unclear if they will in the future. Domestic animals and camels, they continue to appear. This circus is still touring throughout the USA and parts of the world, and if you're interested in checking out more about them, check out their site that's linked below. Thanks for joining. I have a few more that should be uploaded soon. Otherwise, I'll catch you next time. Bye.